what happened to the grandfather. Both from dysfunctional families, both are seeking parental love. There's a murder mystery as well because members of the local hunting society keep ending up dead. Hi, it's the end of July and it's time to look at the 6 books that I read in the second half of the month. It was 6, wasn't it? Yes, it was. I started off with Layla and the Blue Fox, the new one by Kiran Millwood Hargrave that comes out at the end of September. And again, like Julia and the Shark, beautifully illustrated. Although on my Kindle, you can't see the pictures very well. But from what I can gather, it is beautifully illustrated and it will be the same sort of thing as Julia and the Shark. And this time we have got the story of Layla, who meets up with her mother after a period of 6 years in Norway, and they are searching for an Arctic blue fox who is on a massive walk. This little fox has already travelled 1,000 miles over the ice and they are trying to find her. And it's a story of borders, migration, friendship, loyalty. Beautiful story, absolutely. And when I get my hand on a real copy, I will be able to have a look at the beautiful illustrations as well. The second one I read was another NetGalley arc, and it comes out again the end of September. And it's another one by Nell Pattison, who wrote Hide, which is one I read last year. I think in America it's called Nowhere to Hide, but the version I read was just called Hide. And this one is called Friends Don't Lie. And it, as I said, it comes out the end of September. And this one sent me in totally the wrong direction. You've got Izzy Butterworth, who works from home. She's almost isolated, beginning to isolate herself because she's conscious that she's losing her hearing. And she starts getting emails. Every now and again she'll get an email for Isabella Butterworth, which she just dismisses. And then one day she is accosted on the way home by someone demanding to know where Isabella Butterworth is because he wants to kill her. And so then Izzy starts thinking, well, maybe I should track down this Isabella Butterworth and try and warn her. And it's the story of these 2 women, and it's told in alternate perspectives. You know, Izzy's chapter, Isabella's chapter, or Bella as she goes. Izzy Bella. And there's a twist that I never expected it. Not at all. So that was a good one. It looks like these are, most of what I've read this month are NetGalley arcs. The next one was also a NetGalley arc, and it was The Animals by Cary Fagan, and it comes out in October, this one. And it's a relatively short book by this Canadian author, and I think it's almost fairy tale-like. You've got a picturesque village, you've got a model maker, you've got wild animals, because the government suddenly have this scheme where you can apply to adopt a wild animal. So, you know, his neighbour takes in a wolf, his brother takes in a wild mink. All these animals, totally wild, totally untrained. So imagine what sort of devastation that's going to create. So you follow Dawn and his models, and it's a sweet ending with a hope there as well. And yeah, I did like that one. That was a quick read, and as I said, this fairy tale. I thought there were fairy tale vibes there, but you know, somebody else. You might disagree with me, we'll see. My next arc was Cocoon by Zhang Yueran, which comes out in October as well. And it's translated from the Chinese, and we touch on the Cultural Revolution in the 1960s, and we've got two families. We've got Li Chiachi and Cheng Gong, and these two characters meet after a period of 18 years. They're both from very different classes. Li Chiachi's grandfather is an eminent doctor, and Cheng Gong, his family work in the health industry, but they are sort of different classes. And there's a mystery because Cheng Gong's grandfather is in a vegetative state after an incident in the 60s. And these two meet, and it's their reminiscences about growing up and also trying to solve the mystery of what happened to the grandfather. Both from dysfunctional families, both are seeking parental love and belonging. And it's a book that there's no joy or laughter in there. There's a thing about valuing friendship, but it's a very challenging read. It's a worthwhile read, but it is very challenging. And you follow the story of these two people as they try to solve the mystery. And moving on from a really dark book, I moved on to another arc, and this was She and Her Cat by Makoto Shinkai. Again, comes out beginning of October, and this is from the Japanese, and it's one of these charming, whimsical Japanese stories, which is sweet and heartwarming. You've got 4 stories, 4 women with 4 cats, and as you read, everything is interconnected, interwoven, even the cats. Not just the women that are all connected, the cats are all connected. And it covers loneliness, it covers grief, and how cats make everything better. It is just a charming, whimsical book. That was lovely to read. And again, a very short one. It's only 160 pages, so you could whiz through that one in no time. And then the final one of the month was Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead by Olga Tokarczuk. And this one I thought was brilliant. My son recommended this to me. And you've got Janina, who's living alone, and she's into astrology, she's into the natural world, and there's a murder mystery as well, because members of the local hunting society keep ending up dead, and Janina is convinced that it's the animals that are seeking vengeance because of the constant killing by these hunters, but no one's believing her. So you've got the questions of hunting, who has the right to hunt, who has the right to kill animals, who chooses which animals live, which animals die. It's a criticism of religion. It's just a charming book with an unreliable narrator, with this mystery going through it. And Janina is an absolutely fantastic character. You really warm to her right from the outset. You really warm to her. So those were the 6 books that I read the second half of the month. So in total for this month, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 for July. And my 5 stars for this month, I had Shrines of Gaiety by Kate Atkinson, the 2 by Kiran Millwood Hargrave, Julia and the Shark and Layla and the Blue Fox, and then Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead. And I think my book of the month is going to be, I think it's going to be the Olga can't say the name, Olga Tokarczuk, and plow your phones over the, drive your plow over the bones of the dead. And yeah, brilliant book. That is my book of the month. Kate Atkinson very close behind, but I love the murder mystery element and the nature and the discussion in the Olga one. So, happy reading. Take care and bye.